Alright everybody, if you saw my videos about Tapestry and Fantasies and Future, the third expansion to Tapestry, earlier this year, you will know that I really like this game, and I was kind of a latecomer to it. And so for me, I kind of came around the expansions in reverse order, which I'm here to now talk about plans and ploys and arts and architecture exclusively as those expansions so that I can round out my whole Tapestry experience with all three expansions. Tapestry is a civilization game for 1 to 5 players and it says 90 to 120 minutes on the box. I think it takes between 2 and 3 hours to play, especially with my group. Maybe we just think a lot, but we love every minute of it, even though the games are between 2 and 3 hours. And Plans and Ploys was essentially that very first expansion to come out, and I think there are a couple really important things that this expansion offers that I really enjoy, and some other bits and pieces that I'm like, but I want it for a couple things. So the first really cool thing that Plans and Ploys offers players is landmark cards. I love landmark cards. And as we get from Jamie Stegmaier, the designer, in the written notes of the rules, this is a way to give players in the first half of the game a goal. It's a chance to give them a super special landmark that has a specific design that they can plan for when it goes into their capital mat. And it also has a trigger. If you do this, if you've accomplished this thing, if you've got this many this things, then you get to have your landmark. And that happens at the end of any turn that you complete it. And so it's just really cool. And players get to actually draft these landmarks depending on player order. So you might have a lot of, these landmarks to pick from and you really go for the one you want, or you might just get the last card that's left in the stack, but it's still really good. And then you've got arts and architecture that gives you even more of those landmark cards to add into that deck that you shuffle and that players get to pick from to start the game. And along with these landmarks, you get the colored minis. You get the painted miniatures of these buildings. So everything is going to have the same look and the same design and the same feel as the base game and all the expansions. And so that's just a really nice touch, because sometimes those expansions come out with new cards and they don't have the same exact color, they don't have the same shape or the same exact design, and it kind of feels a little wonky. Here you've got all those unique painted miniatures that just look really, really cool, and they all have that same design and they fit really well into your capital mat, as I said in my base comment or review of Tapestry. You're also going to get 10 asymmetric civilizations in Plans and Ploys, and the thing that I like about that is that you get, there's so many civilizations to play with just in the base game. Then you get these more. Then you get even more. Then with Fantasies and Futures, you get even more. And you have so many of these delicious civilizations to play with, and I can't get enough of it. I really can't. I mean, honestly, it's those unique civilization mats that continue to bring me back. Not necessarily the capital mats. Like, those I can, use a basic one. I could use an advanced one. It doesn't matter to me. That's not the exciting thing. The exciting thing is the civilization. What really cool thing am I going to get? And you get 10 of those here. And I think they all are really, really cool and totally different than, again, I'm going in the wrong order, but my Fantasies and Futures, they're going to be different folks than the people that I already played with, than the base people and everything. So I love that there are 10 more to pick from, and as with every game, you even have like the civilization adjustments, made adjustments at the start of the game. And so at the back of your rules, you're going to see that for all the civs, not just for the base civilizations. So I love these new civilizations. You get a handful more of the Tapestry cards, and there's one Tapestry card, which is the very first of its kind, to actually offer a landmark as a tapestry, which is so cool. And there are also kind of like souped up or unique track cards that come in the Plans and Ploys. There are 5 of those. And so it gives just a different kind of something that's a trap. And I remember playing, we'd incorporated Plans and Ploys, and I hadn't checked those cards out yet. And an opponent used one on me when, of course, I went to, conquer and topple. And I was like, what is that? What is this? This is crazy. Like, this is insane. It's so cool. It took me by surprise, and I really liked it, even though it was used against me. So I really like, there's some other Tapestry cards that are a little bit more straightforward and self-explanatory, but those are the 2 kind of unique Tapestry cards that show up in Plans and Ploys. There are some new space tiles, and there's a bag to keep all of your exploration tiles in. Now, for me, I still have never gone to space. I seriously am starting, I'm like on, I have played this so many times, and I still have never gone to space and played space tiles, even with special cards or unique actions. But I see everybody else playing space tiles, so it's really cool. I mean, they're kind of amazing. I don't know why I just can never get up there. But you get some space tiles with Plans and Ploys, and you also get this kind of like gingham cloth bag that you can put all the exploration tiles in instead of stacking them by the side of the board, and you just reach in and kind of rifle around and grab one. And I love bag drawing like every other lady out there. I mean, come on, give me a good bag draw. So I think it adds something nice, but you don't have to use it. And so for me, I think the 2 that I could kind of leave maybe it would be the space tiles and the bag, just because the bag is nice, but it's not necessary. And I really like the other components and the other new pieces and bits and fun stuff that comes in Plans and Ploys so much better. But that is this expansion. That's what comes in this box. And I think there are several things that I really enjoy and that I'm excited that I have and that I will not be playing without. Tapestry cards, new civilization choices, cool landmarks. I mean, come on. Fantastic. Yes, yes, yes. So moving on to arts and architecture, I've already mentioned that there are landmark cards in here that come with, yes, the painted miniatures for the landmarks. So yes, 100,000% to that and to those landmarks. Again, I find that in the setup phase, that drafting and then having a goal in the first half of the game to be so good, so good. I think it enhances the game. And I love that I have a personal objective and I get to achieve it whenever I can achieve it. And it's something to work towards, and I love it. You get 5 asymmetric civilization mats in the arts and architecture. And again, yes, it will take me years and years and years to get through and to play, not just with, but also personally, all the civilizations that are offered in the base game in all 3 expansions. So yes to all the civs. I want to play every single one of them. There are some advanced capital mats in arts and architecture, and I was like, meh on them, to be honest. I saw them and I was like, okay, again, I could kind of take or leave those advanced ones, even in Fantasies and Futures, and the base game, I could just use those base cards. So for me, those weren't necessarily revolutionary or changing my mind like the core of arts and architecture, which I am working my way up to because it blew my mind and I love it so much, and I can't imagine playing without the 5th track of arts and architecture, which now you have 5 tracks that you're working your way up, that you are paying resources for and getting some insanely cool stuff with. So the first thing is you got that track, and you get to work your way up this track with a resource of your choice, with 2 resources that are the same, and with 2 resources that are different. And so it gives you that flexibility for what you pay to go up on the art track. And it's not locked in like the other 4 to the 4 basic resources. And I like that so much. I like it. And when you go on certain spaces, there are really cool things. So one of the first cool things that you can get when you move up on this arts track is a souped up track that you put onto your personal player board that makes all of your resources and victory point scoring during the income phase better. And those are called inspiration tiles. Oh my gosh, they are so cool. And you want to get the ones that you are totally maximizing on. Like if you get your gray track or your kind of brown track and you put that underneath there, you're going to get more, better, awesome stuff. And those tracks are just the coolest. And every player has the chance to earn them. So everyone gets their own set of inspiration tiles. But boy, was it cool. I got them and I loved them. The other thing that is just insanely awesome are these masterpiece cards. And these masterpiece cards are cards that go out in a supply, much like you see with the tech cards. And there are 3 available, and when you go on the space that says take one of these cards, you take one of the open cards and display, put it on your kind of fireplace picture on your player board, which is the start space before you get to your first played or round 2 income for your Tapestry card. And every single time you do income, you will gain the bonus on your masterpiece card. And they start to stack up, they start to add up. You get really cool things and just cascades of like domino stuff. I mean, these are so cool, and it just gives you yet again another path to victory, another way to play this game and experience all the cool stuff that Arts and Architecture offers, but then also Tapestry as a base core game already provides. And yes, you're going to get more Tapestry cards, you're going to get more tech cards. So this gives you the expansion that is like a brand new track and a brand new way of playing and like even more complex play, but it still gives you more of the best core stuff. And I like that now my Tapestry deck is chunky, my tech deck chunky. I got these massive decks, and I never know what I'm going to get. If it's going to be the Plans and Ploys, the Arts and Architecture, the Fantasies and Futures, cards when it comes to Tapestry and tech. I love how it all just weaves and works together. And so, yes, yes, yes. I mean, if I had to pick one over the other, because I think Arts and Architecture offers a totally new element as the 5th track, the arts track, this is more essential, but this is really good. And I think it pairs well. Both of them pair well with my 3rd expansion, which was my first experience with the expansions with Fantasies and Futures. So I can't even. I mean, I really am wholly enthusiastic about A, this game, but B, these expansions, and how much they offer players when it comes to playing it again and again and again, because you really do want to play this game over and over and over again. And the thing that's really cool too in the Arts and Architecture is you get a new 20-sided die that's your science die, because it now needs to incorporate all the images from the 5 places, not just the 4 places. So there is that added die. And both of these boxes add these exploration discs, and they're little cardboard chits, and they go on the board in those spaces when you cross a threshold to remind you to get that landmark, because it was kind of easy actually to forget that that's why you were crossing over, that's why you were moving that space, and you were doing your action and maybe a supplemental action or optional, and then you were also doing this and that, and all of a sudden you just forgot you didn't get your landmark. And timing is important, so I think that's another really great thing that both of these bring in are those little discs that remind you, hey, take your stuff, take your landmark, take your bonus. Like, that's what you get when you walk into that space. So just some wonderful, wonderful things. I really feel like Tapestry and the expansions, if I could fit it all in one box, which right now it can't fit in this box anymore. That's why I still have these 2. I was able to fit the other one, the 3rd expansion, in here. But I think this might become my desert island game. If I could pack a game, and I really like a whole bunch of games, but this is kind of becoming that game that I can see endless replayability and endless fun. I have a great time playing it. I'm a big fan of civilization games, as is my husband, and he really enjoys this as well. And so we have found a great game that we can share with other players, which we have played more than just a 2-player game of this, but it's just a really dynamic game, and I love trying a new play with those civilizations. I mean, if there's a civilization that asks me to roll a die or kind of do lucky stuff, I'm picking them immediately. I love those. I love those civs so much. So, thumbs, 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 thumbs. So many thumbs up, and just great. I mean, I honestly, I have a little, some things I'm like meh on with both of them, but not so much that I don't want them, because the other elements, the other components in these are so good. So, yes, that's my take. All right. Thank you for just staying tuned and kind of wrapping up and finishing all of it, right? That's going to be my 3rd video now on Tapestry in some form or another, and I hope you like it as much as I do. And if you haven't gotten your hands on it, give it a try. I think it might surprise you how fun, dynamic, interesting, puzzly, and just you just fall into it. It just wraps you up and gives you a big old hug. And I want to play it. I want to play it right now. Okay. I'll see you later, everybody. Bye.